Hi my dears, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here. My name is Emma and I'm so happy you clicked on my what's for dinner video. I hope you like it. We'll give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I post my what's for dinner videos every Monday. Now let's jump on into the meals I made this week for my husband and I. For tonight's dinner, I'm making easy chicken Parmesan. I'm gonna start by putting my chicken patties onto my baking sheet. I have preheated my oven to 400 degrees. Now I'm gonna cook the chicken patties for 20 minutes. And over here I have my water boiling up to cook my linguine. While my chicken and my linguine is cooking up, I'm just gonna make some garlic ciabatta bread. I'm just gonna use some of this Kerrygold garlic and herb butter on my ciabatta buns. And here is the ciabatta bread all buttered up. I just put the ciabatta bread on with my chicken patties. At this point, the chicken patties had been cooking for 20 minutes. I did go in at the 10-minute mark and flip them. And then when it was time to add the marinara sauce and the provolone cheese, I just gave them another flip. Added the marinara sauce, the provolone cheese, and then I just let the bread and the chicken patties cook up for an extra 5 minutes. And when the linguine was cooked, I just added a little butter, gave that a little stir. Then once the butter had melted up, I just added in my marinara sauce. I only had a half a jar left because I'd used it for a previous recipe, but it turned out to be plenty. And there it is, all served up. We added some Parmesan to the linguine noodles. Then we have our chicken patties and the garlic ciabatta. Delicious. And for tonight's dinner, I'm just preheating my oven to 375 for my sausage rolls. I have my baking sheet lined with some parchment paper. And for the sausage rolls, I'm just using one puff pastry sheet and a 16-ounce roll of Jimmy Dean sausage. And now let's make these sausage rolls. I just put some flour down on my countertop. Then I laid out my puff pastry sheet. Then I used my pizza cutter to separate the puff pastry sheets into 3. And now for the sausage, I just kept grabbing little balls of sausage, and with my hands, each ball, I just kind of rolled it to go into little strips all the way down the puff pastry sheets. Then once the sausage was on each puff pastry sheet, I just made an egg wash that's gonna go on the top of the sausage rolls when we have rolled them, which we are going to do now. I did use some of the egg wash on the ends of the puff pastry sheets just to help me kind of seal them as I was rolling them. Voila, they are rolled up. Now I'm just going to put them on my baking sheet that's been lined with parchment paper. And then I'm going to take my fork and seal the sausage into the puff pastry sheets. And then I'm going to use my egg wash on top of the puff pastry sheets. Actually, not just on top, all over the puff pastry sheets. And now the egg wash is on. I wasn't sure if I was going to cut these before I put them into the oven or after. I ended up doing it before. And of course, I'm using my handy dandy little pizza cutter. This thing works perfect. So now I'm just going to go down the sausage rolls and just cut them as close to evenly as possible. And to give them a little room to puff up in my oven, I'm just going to separate them a little bit on the baking sheet. After I'd separated them on my baking sheet, I put them into my 375-degree oven for 25 minutes, just until they were this beautiful golden brown. And then here they are, all served up. I just heated up some baked beans to go on the side. And then with mine, I wanted a little salad because I'm addicted to this French dressing right now. And these were delicious. Anytime I go to Einstein Bagels, I always get their tasty turkey sandwich. It is so delicious. So I decided to recreate it at home for dinner tonight. All you're gonna do is toast your bagel of choice. I am using onion bagels. Then I cut up tomato, cucumber, and washed my spinach. While my other bagel is toasting up, I'm just going to assemble my first bagel by doing kind of a thick layer of chive and onion cream cheese. Then I'm going to put on my cucumber, my spinach, and my tomato. I know I said this is inspired by the tasty turkey sandwich. I am using turkey, but I'm also putting some ham on my bagels as well. Why not? And then I did another layer of the chive and onion cream cheese on the top part of the bagel, and that's it. And then here it is, all served up. I had mine with some Cheetos, and my husband had his with some pretzels. Delicious. For tonight's dinner, my husband has requested shrimp stuffed shells. Here is everything you are going to need. I am preheating my oven to 350. I have a pot of boiling water here to cook up our jumbo shells. I have cleaned and taken off the tail of my shrimp, and I'm just going to cut these in half, maybe thirds. Then I'm going to put them in this pot with some butter, cook it up, and add some spinach. Butter is in. Then I put my jumbo shells into my boiling water, and we're just going to cook them according to the packaging directions. My butter is melted. My shrimp is cut into thirds, and I'm just going to add it to the butter. Shrimp is in. Now I'm going to add my spinach, and I'm just going to let that cook up for a few minutes. The shrimp and the spinach is cooked up. My noodles are still probably cooking up for another minute or so. But in this bowl, we're going to mix together a cup of ricotta cheese, a teaspoon of minced garlic, a quarter cup of Parmesan, and give that a little stir, 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 stir. Now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of parsley. Beautiful. A teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Depending on how spicy you like it, red pepper flakes. I'm just gonna do a little there. We're not scared of spice here. So I'm gonna give that a stir. And then I'm going to add a little pepper. Little pepper. And where did my salt go? And some salt. Voila. Now I'm going to add my shrimp and spinach mixture. Voila. That a stir. The shells are done. Now I'm gonna put them into this bowl. Okay, I'm gonna let these cool down, but first I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil. Just so they won't stick to each other while they cool down. I just sprayed my baking dish with some olive oil spray. All right, now time to stuff these shells. Like I said, I've sprayed this with some spray olive oil. I am going to put a little bit of the Alfredo sauce at the bottom, I think. Just a little. Just spread it. I don't know if that was necessary, but hey. All right, now time to stuff them. Voila. And there you go. Now I'm gonna pour some of the Alfredo sauce on top of the shells. Now I'm gonna put some tin foil on it. We're gonna bake it 350 for 20 minutes. Then I'm gonna take the tin foil off and cook them for another 10 minutes. It has been 20 minutes. Now I'm gonna take the tin foil off. And we're gonna bake them for another 10 minutes. It has been 10 minutes. Now I'm gonna take them out the oven. Voila. And I'm just gonna let them sit and rest for about 5 minutes. And there it is, all served up. I just added a little Parmesan cheese and some more parsley to the stuffed shells. Just added some bruschetta that I got from Sprouts on the side with some fresh mozzarella. And that's it. Delicious. And that concludes this week's What's for Dinner video. I hope you guys liked it. We'll give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Have a fabulous week. Bye.